clear voice, say along with us.
Love.
Hip hop, hip hop, hip hop, hip hop, hip hop, hip hop. Smoke weed every day.
Oh yeah. All right, so we are back. This is the world's most smoked out podcast. We love hip hop, and we are in interview mode. Shout out to you, Savy. One of these, one of the Canalines. Hey, hey, we're going party. Yes. So, okay. While I'm getting the drinks ready here for our Canaline party, and shout out to VIP Extracts for providing that there. I have a very special guest in the house here today.
Yes,
okay?
we do.
And I'm really fucking honored to have this guest in the house because like I've been watching this man do his thing for a while, and it's like, you know, when you watch much music and stuff like that, you're like, yo, I need to get to the next level, and it's like you get inspired by watching like people, especially when you're like, from Canada, but they're like getting crazy spins on the radio, on the videos, like you're like, yo, there's fucking stars in this country. You know what I'm saying? So then to be able to like sit and just like be in the same room and be like, yo, and kick it with mines, well, I won. Thank you. It's an honor. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So, Juno Award winner, right?
I'm good.
Youth ambassador for the D250, the Citizen Voice program. And maker of many hits and broken hearts.
Yeah, that's facts.
We have Jordan in the building.
Yes.
JDRN for the people who don't know. All right,
thank you for coming through.
Thank you. It's an honor to have you over in the building here.
I'm hypnotized under your spell, baby. I'm not going anywhere. I just gotta have it. I reach out and grab it. Your love is like magic, baby.
Okay, so I want to get straight to it. Okay, what was the first artist name you had before Jordan?
JC.
That's
my name, Jordan Croucher, right? So
okay.
Yeah, JC. That's what people call me back home. It was like when I was balling, that was the thing. Yo, that's JC. So I stuck with that. Everyone called me JC. So that's what I started with when I first started recording.
Yeah. And then those times you were balling, right?
Yeah.
So when did you fall in love with like the music, right? Like at what point?
3 months before I picked up a basketball.
Really?
Yeah. See, I don't know if you know, but I grew up in Jane and Finch.
Okay.
Yeah, so I lived in the Connections for 10 years.
Oh.
Yeah. 17 Crane Grassway. So
shout out Connections.
Yeah. Shout out Connections. You know.
Yeah.
And I moved back home when I was around 11. And at the time, my brother, like, there was like, you know, back in the mid 80s, like when CDs first started popping. Yes, cheers on that Canon Clinic. Yeah.
Cheers. You know, I'm not drinking the lean, which I'm drinking some water too.
But back in those times, CDs just started popping. Like, you know, they remember the 25 a pop, like when they first started coming up. No, just CDs in general, compact disc. So I'm taking you back. Like,
okay.
When I lived in the Connection, so my brother had this settlement because he got hit by a car on Jane, and you know, the first thing he did, he was a music head and loved music. He went and bought like $3,000 worth of CDs.
Okay.
So he had this huge collection. So, and before we moved home, my babysitter was King Louis. From the Dream Warriors. Lived upstairs.
Wow.
In the building, you know? We lived in the same spot.
What the fuck is this? My definition of a boombastic jazz style.
So they had me
serious hip hop connection.
Yeah, they had. That's where it really connected because they had me in the lobby. They would always be in the lobby, so I'm passing with my mom, a little shorty, every day. I see them breakdancing on, you know, in the lobbies and stuff. So that's when I first was introduced to hip hop.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So I remember being
elements.
Yeah, I remember being King Louis' room. You know, every graffiti everywhere in his bedroom. You know what I mean? I'm just a little shorty because I left there when I was like 10 and a half, 11. So then I moved home, and my brother started working at this at Pizza Hut. Don't touch my CDs when I'm at work. Don't touch them. Of course, like little brother, I'm gonna go in, and I stumbled upon Babyface's album, Tender Love. You know what I mean? Looked at it, I'm like, oh, he kind of same skin complexion. Let me check this one out. Okay. You know what I mean? So I fell in love with Sunshine, the song Sunshine, And from there, it's just like I love singing. I just would sing.
Okay.
But, you know, I moved back to the square, and coming from Toronto, it was like all my friends were like Chinese, you know,
Yeah.
Indian, Jamaican.
For sure. Multicultural.
Caribbean. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I moved back home, and it was like the hood was just us. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I said we singing around the way, and everyone was like, yo, who's this new kid with the curls, and all the girls, you know, all over, you know, this new guy coming in trying to steal our shine, you know? So they made fun of me when I would sing.
Yeah.
And I remember making the decision at that time. I was like, you know what? I'm going to do what you guys love. And it was hoopers in the hood. Everybody was playing ball. It was either basketball.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You was either playing basketball, football, or you was selling. You know what I mean? That's what the hood was when I moved home.
Okay.
So like, you know what? I'm going to make it a point. So, go ahead.
And when you say move home, where are you talking about? Because a lot of people
Back to Scotia.
Exactly.
I was born.
A lot of people don't realize that terminology.
Yeah,
You know, some people think they're talking about Jamaica or some other place, you know what I'm saying? But they Scotians. We got the Scotians.
Yeah.
Just to put some clarity on that.
Yeah, because I was born down home, Scotia, and then like I said, 9 months old, I moved up here, and you know, going back home, you know, I made it a point when they was, you know, making fun of me and trying to bring me down. Everybody was hooping, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be better than what you guys love for making fun of what I love. Yeah. So I just blocked out the music. I always knew I wanted to come back to it, but I blocked it out because I just was like, you know what? And I lied to them. They were like, yo, you play ball? Yeah, I play ball. I ain't played ball a day in my life. Not even Jim and Fergrove, you know, that was I was a hockey guy. Soccer. You know what I mean? So basketball wasn't my thing.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We used to skateboard in the basketball court in you know what I mean? In the connections.
Yeah.
So I just, you know, I took so many years just perfecting my game playing ball, but I always sang, like I always knew I wanted to come back to it. You know what I'm saying? So it took me some time, and ball kind of took over and took me all around the world. Won a couple national titles at X, played for Team Canada. Triano coached me one summer.
Oh, nice.
So like I was doing it. So I just, you know, after I played a stint, I had a year stint in France. I was playing semi-pro. And I was there. I was just lonely. I like started writing. I'm like, when I get home, I hit up, you know, Trobiz, barber out there, but producer. He's you know Trobiz. Yeah, he's the first dude that brought me into the studio.
Okay.
At those times, I forgot. Let me backtrack because the first time I was ever in a studio was with Raffi, you know, the children's singer. Raffi, the children's singer, the old school fella. Wow. Yeah. So he took. Yeah, he's like, you know, he took our music class in to record on one of his albums. Okay. So I was on a Raffi record when I was like 7 or 8. You know, that was the first experience, and I didn't even, like, thinking back now, it wasn't like play in my head like, oh, I'm gonna do music, and, you know, until I really fell in love with the culture. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And Babyface and the R&B, you know what I'm saying, and hip hop. So
but you ever rap, or it was just strictly?
Oh yeah, a little bit, but
strictly singing.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, you know what I mean. I was the young cat that every time we go up on the corner on the block, sing that song. Come on. A couple girls around. Come on, sing with them. Come on. You know what I'm saying? So,
for sure.
So that's, you know, that's kind of where it started.
Okay. Yeah. And even like when you with the transitions from Toronto and to Nova Scotia and everything, like what's the fondest memory that you could find from, like, even from Nova Scotia first?
Fondest memory, that's a good one. So many. There's so many, but Black tournament time was like those times, like when I was first started playing in the tournament. I don't know if you heard of Black tournament. It's all Black basketball tournament. Like that was the time. Like I remember that being like something we always looked forward to every year. Okay. Every year, like it was like, oh, it's tournament time.
Yeah, we have bridges from
you got to get your fresh kicks. You got to get your fits. You know, it's a basketball tournament, car show, fashion show. Right. And parties, you know what I'm saying? So that, for me, that's something that's always going to stick in my memory, is those times, like when they had all the Toronto teams, like 2 or 3 Toronto teams coming down. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it was always like the city was just vibrant for us. You know what I'm saying? So that was like really for me a big thing. I always remember that. That's like every time it's out now. It went like 30 plus years, and now they don't do it no more.
They cut it out.
Yeah, we got
they're trying to bring it back. They got the peace tour.
Yeah, the peace tour, and shout out to Veli. Yeah, Veli and they got a peace tournament out there that they're doing. It's really cool. I haven't been there yet, but maybe this summer I'll go down. It's around the same time in May.
Michael versus.
Yeah.
And our other guests.
Yeah, shout out to Cashmere
Shout
in the
out
building.
alumni.
I forgot to even mention my high ass. Shout out to we love hip hop alumni Cashmere in the building.
Yes,
you know
yes.
Director extraordinaire.
Yes.
Place. Like I was, they had the first year, the inaugural year of they're trying to bring it back, peace tournament. It ended just because, just like with a lot of stuff happening over, you know, the past couple decades, violence has grown. You know what I mean? Especially in the black communities. And, you know, our fond memories, it used to be a good thing. Like
Yeah.
you said, it was a car show because everybody had made sure their cars was on point. You know
Yep,
what I mean?
yep.
Yeah.
Everybody had, it was a fashion show because everybody's outfit was on point. And you said everyone from Toronto, they made sure that their game was on point.
Yep,
Not just
yep,
their
yep.
ball game. You know what I mean? When they
Yeah.
came down for ball tournament was a thing for us. And it was always peaceful and happy and blessed. But
Yep,
then,
for sure.
unfortunately, you know, like I said, current times are different. And so it ended after like 30 years. Yeah,
Wow.
but recently some of the young youth now that are trying to change the course of the city, they brought it back. Last
That's
year
good.
was the first
That's a
year
good look.
peace tournament, and it was successful, you know. So
Yeah.
they're giving it another go and going bigger and better this year. I think it's in late August, I think, that they're trying to bring
Okay.
it back. So you
That's
know,
blessed.
Yeah.
all the Toronto teams,
That's a
they
good
should
look.
probably look into it, you know.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
the prize is like, it's cash prize though. It's like a couple racks, like a few racks,
No,
like the
that's
actual
good.
prize. Yeah, like yeah.
Yo, that's nice.
Really,
You know,
eh?
and that's like back then, like they never
Wow.
had cash prizes
Yeah.
when we was doing the black tournament, and we went on like a 6-year run. Our team, we after Toronto came down, Toronto subs, that what they called us, the Toronto subs. They came down, won a few years, and then we had our squad. We was like, this is at my peak time. You know, we went 6 years straight. And 1 year I got MVP, so that was like a highlight for me. MVP of black tournament. That was like,
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's
that
a
was
blessing.
bigger than being an all-star in the AUS for me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So that was good time.
And even with the traveling around with the basketball and everything, like, how was it living in France?
Honestly, bro, I've had DUI and I've never been in the Bing, but bro, I was in like a small town. I felt like I was in jail, bro.
Yeah.
I heard this on my door once in 9 months,
Wow.
and
That's
that was
crazy.
my girl flying over to check me, and she came early and surprised me, and I'm like, nobody knocks on my door. So I was in this small little apartment
Yeah.
for 9 months by myself.
But that's what sparked the writing.
That's what sparked it. Right. That's where I was like, you know what?
And it's
I
the
probably
atmo-
gotta-
like the area, like you're in France. Like,
It
so
was
the
and-
experiences.
and of course, you know, I can't go anywhere without hitting a note. So my team knew what I was saying. So every road trip, they had me in the front of the bus singing. You know, so I got the itch. I'm
working
like,
those vocals.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that was cool. But it felt like I was just, confined in space. So I got time to think and really know what, how I want to approach the music comeback. So it was a good thing. And I decided to give up the game, the dream, because of course the dream was an NBA. I played with tons of NBA players.
Semi-pro and
Yeah, I played with NBA players. I've been, to camps in the U.S. where, coaching with Jason Williams, James Posey,
Okay.
guys like that, Will Solomon. So it's like, I said to myself, okay, I'm in this Division II team. It's going to take me about 4 or 5 years to get another look. Let me just go to the music right away. That's when I came home, I started doing music.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was what, 03? That's
Took
when
it
I started
serious.
let me get in the studio. So that's when I started working. But then I took it more serious a year later, and I had a decision that I had to make because 1 week I was working between the season, I was working as a security guard in my old high school because I hit my boy. I'm like, yo, I need to make some extra change while I'm home.
Yeah.
He's like, well, you want to go security guard at the school? I'm like, all right, cool. I was like, yeah, let's do it. And I knew a lot of the kids because that's the school. Like I know all the parents and stuff. So
Yeah.
I knew going in it would be more fulfilling than just me standing and always saying, hey, get to class or
Yeah.
stop smoking weed or whatever.
sure.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So what happened was the principal and the RCMP set up. They came to me one day, and it's funny because the night before I went, my agent called me. He's like, yo, I got you 2 more offers. You can go to Albania or you can go back to the other spot. They want you to come back.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, all right, cool. Then I get to work the next day, call in the office, and the principal's like, hey, we got this position that we want to offer you. It's going to be the first of its kind,
Okay.
And so they set up a position for me where I was an outreach coordinator. No, I'm good. I was an outreach coordinator. So, they hired me to at first they wanted to just be at-risk African Nova Scotian students.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, if I'm in the school, I'm not going to just limit it to that. Like,
Yeah.
I'm here for every kid.
Everybody.
You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
said, cross that out of the contract, and then we
Yeah.
can talk. So I made the decision to stay home.
Okay.
And so, I did, a lot of good work with the kids. We did an album at the school, recording an album with the choir, with all, like any kid that wanted to
nice.
do music. I took them down to this church that was close to the hood, and we recorded an album.
Okay.
So that's when it really started going. And the kids were supporting me. I did my first mixtape. The kids would come help me put my tapes together, in their free time in my office. And, they really helped, the high school really helped push me when I first started.
grassroots
Yeah,
movement.
yeah, that's right.
When did you start noticing traction? Like, what song did you do that you started noticing traction?
Feeling Fine with Class 5.
This is how the story all goes down.
criminals and kill them with brilliant rhymes.
That was the first record I did with him.
Okay.
So that was like, it's funny because
Yeah, classified as an
yeah,
OG.
yeah, he's
yeah.
you know, I was like literally I was looking for producers and I knew one of his boys, Martin Finch, that was part of the Trailer Park Boys, and he was
Okay.
like, yeah, it's a homie. He's like, yo, why don't you hook up with Class? So he put the bug in Class's ear, and he's like, yo, just call, give him a call, like, you know. So I hit him.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I'm down, man. Come out to the studio. Come out, you know, because he lived a little like Enfield, like 20 minutes outside the city.
Okay.
So I went out, and the first day, that's the first song we did, was Feeling Fine. And then he hit me on the email and was like, yo, want to do an album under my label? Like, let's go.
Let's do
You know
this.
what I mean? So then we started to work on music.
Half-Life
Records, that's
Yes.
right. Yeah, yeah. And then he had the situation through EMI, which put the album out.
I remember that.
And so yeah, he, you know, started bringing me on tour. So I did the first tour. Come home, it was nice, you know, had a good time. We did all of Canada. Did 5 tours with him, but the first one I came back, less than 2 weeks later, he's like, yo, I got another tour lined up. So I had to tell my supervisor, like, yo, can I go back on the road? She's like, this is your dream. I want to say, yeah, you can come back to it, but go follow your dream.
Yeah.
We love what you did for us, and I still to this day she'll hit me up with little jobs when I come home. You know, go to the school, speak to some of the kids and
For
stuff.
sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she, you know, I'll never forget it. She cried too that day. She's like, I'm so proud of you. Like this, you know, you did amazing work here with these kids, but you got to make yourself happy.
Yeah, for
You know,
sure.
follow your heart and follow your dreams. So I did that. We went on 4 more tours, and then after that tour, moved to Harlem for a year. I was hanging out in Harlem, and then came out here and started messing with Kuya. Those are the guys that we did the first
shout out to
IMG.
Kuya.
Yeah, Kuya. Those are the first producers in Toronto that I worked with. So I was commuting back and forth, and then decided to move back out here again.
Yeah.
So I've lived in Toronto more than half of my life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So what's it like living here versus living back home?
Just the pace, just faster. You know.
Yeah.
I like being by the ocean, chilling.
Yeah.
You know, the good fish.
I was only there one time, like back in the 90s, early 90s. I was there, and that's one thing I remember was the ocean, going by the docks and seeing all the everything. I was like crazy. It was crazy, and then it was winter time too, so it's just frozen and everything. So it looks even more sick. So it's like, yo, that's one of my fondest memories when I went there. I haven't been there since like the 90s. You know what I'm saying? But that's like inbred in my head. I'll never forget that.
It's
You know what I'm saying? It's beautiful.
I mean, you know, we're world renowned, known for our fish export. So we got some of the best fish in the world, seafood.
For sure.
Yeah, lobster.
Oh yeah. People be,
Lobster.
oh yeah, I'm going to bring some lobster.
Lobster
You
back
want
from
some
down home.
lobster?
Yeah,
Right
Right from the airport. Boom, boom. Yeah, that's right.
Yep. They don't play with that. Oh,
Yeah.
that in part there. You hear that? Oh, you want the I'm gonna get the lobster. You want some lobster? Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Get your boxes. Get your.
Straight to Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. You started getting I started noticing the meteoric rise in the music and stuff like that. Like one of the songs that like stuck out to me right away was like Magic.
Baby, your love is like magic. Baby, can't even imagine you were miles away, somewhere in outer space, and just to see your face, I'd have to find a way. Baby, no, this isn't average. Baby, your love is like magic, magic, magic.
Right? So when you found out that track went gold, like what was your reaction?
It's a funny story because You Can Have It All went gold first. And I'll never forget it because me and her argued about this. Because I got the gold record.
Okay.
And I was just like, nah, I'm not satisfied. I want more. Because it's like, you better be, like, she went in on me.
Yeah.
Like, we argued on the phone. I'll never forget. I was driving down QEW, arguing on the phone because she talking about, you better be happy and proud of that because that's a big accomplishment. No, not a lot of R&B cats go gold in the country. Like that was
Straight
back
up.
in you know, what was that, 2011, 12?
Yeah.
So that was like the first gold R&B record for a long time.
Yeah.
So she kind of kicked me in the ass, and I was like, you know what, you're right, okay. So the second time around when we got to Like Magic, I appreciated it a lot more. You know what I'm saying? But the funny thing about that is Like Magic, I didn't even want to put that record out, and it ended up being my biggest song in the country. You know
Why
what I'm
did
saying?
you want to put it out?
I was, you know, it just
It's the way you felt
the
about
bop
it.
It wasn't like I had the record HD. Like I wanted that to be my first single coming back into it, you know what I'm saying? And that was a like a ballad.
Okay.
You know, so I'm like true to the R&B. I was really true to the R&B. That was what, you know, I fell in love with.
Yeah.
And I just felt like the Like Magic was too poppy sounding, you know? And it was just, I didn't want it to be a single, but, you know, I had, you know, a lot of people that were involved
Pushing
in the
it.
project. So, you know, the people that are paying the bills and putting the money up, you know, you kind of want to listen to them sometimes. But going back now, I would have did things different. You know what I'm saying? That's why now I'm independent. I have, you know, a business partner, and we've been just cooking for the past few years.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So
independent for you is better than.
Well, I mean, I'm just back on the scene right now. The last record I dropped before the rumors that I just dropped a few weeks ago was Right Now, which was like 3.5 years ago. Yeah.
Okay.
So that was, you know, a while. Wow, and you know, part of that's because of contractual stuff that I had to deal with the shit. You know, it's you know, how the business. Yeah, so it took me a couple years to get out of my contract with Kuya.
Okay.
It took a while, so it was, you know, but I was still cooking, and you know, got a ton in the vault. So you know,
some fire to look forward to.
Yeah, it's coming.
All
yeah,
right.
It's definitely coming.
That's good.
Yeah, one thing I always want to know also, even when you mention like the majors or like being signed, what are some of the pros of being signed, and what are some of the cons?
Pros and cons. I mean, I didn't have a major deal,
or just a deal.
Just period. A deal in general. I mean, some of the pros, you have you have a team, you know, in the building, in the office, you have a team of 20, 30 people that are all gonna push some buttons to make the project move.
Yeah,
right.
You know, that's one of the pros of it. And the other thing, one of the cons is for me is just too many heads, too much advice. You know, like kind of sidetrack you a little bit. Now
too many fingers in the
pot.
pot.
Me, independent now, it's like it's us. Like this is me.
Yeah,
Cash been there.
Who
for
you
me.
want?
Yeah, this is like I'm dropping music that I've always wanted to make, and you know, it's like it's a process. You grow. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm doing a lot of different music. I still do a little bit of poppy stuff here and there, but I more like to give that to DJs to run and do that stuff because I don't mind doing it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But it's like I'm more of a urban R&B guy. So
yeah. And even on like those other stratospheres, like what do you take away from the whole Canadian Idol experience?
Oh, that was wow. That was crazy. You know what? The one thing I realized in that experience was I
shout out to Savy.
I got to know my voice during that experience. Like I got to being in a room, like I was top 100 picked. I got let go the day before they picked like the top 30.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So you're in a room, all these different voices singing all these different styles of music, and there's like a handful of guys that are doing R&B.
Yeah.
So like, okay, I figured out how I stood out amongst a crowd of tons of singers, talented people.
Right.
So that's the one thing that I really gained from that was like knowing where I wanted to go, with my voice. And honestly, I'm glad I didn't make the top 30 because once you get on that stage, you sign some contracts. They have your music for a while, so they kind of did me a favor. And
it was a good learning experience.
The producer was like, "Yo, we love you, but we know you need a little time to grow, but we know there's gonna be some great things in the future for you. So we're not gonna take you on this, but here, go over to Much Music, check our people there. We're gonna do a Much Music 911 VJ to the Rescue, and that spun for 3 years.
Oh.
So I was on that show. You remember that VJ to the Rescue show that they had?
Yeah.
So I was on that, and that spun for 3 years. So that really is what gave me the name in the country because people are like, oh, there's this kid from Nova Scotia, from Halifax, Jordan, who sings R&B. You know what I'm saying? So that's what was the real plant. That was the seed that got planted for the country to know me. You know, so that really helped a lot. That exposure on that show. So
for sure,
it plugs you into a lot of different places.
Yeah. So many people watching Much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and even like with opening acts and stuff like that. Like, how did it feel opening for like Neo and Snoop, Rihanna?
It was dope.
Like mad people.
It was really cool, man. It was really cool.
You ever got to meet Rihanna?
No, I didn't meet her.
No?
Literally, I had to catch a flight, and as soon as my set was done, I was out.
I was gonna ask what that ass.
Yeah, she never even showed up to the venue. So I was kind of upset. I was like, hold up.
Yeah, you know.
I'd love to meet Riri, but no, that was all amazing because those big crowds is what really gives you that rush. You get in front of like 10,000 people, like opening for Snoop out in BC in a huge open field, like. That's a rush you can't get from being just in a club scene and doing smaller shows, right? So that was a great experience. I love doing like those festivals and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And even like I think I just popped a piece of shatter like all the way over the set.
Yeah.
Fucked up Yankee story. Give me a fucked up Yankee story.
Fucked up Yankee story.
Friday on this Yankee stories.
I was in the studio with Melly Mel. Actually, no. I'll tell you about that after. But fuck
Off camera one.
No. It wasn't that. But so I was on like 135th and Adam Clayton in Harlem, and the barber. I mean, I had long hair, and I used to go to check these African ladies to do my hair. So I was going to get my hair done. So I walk in, and it's like it's a mirror, but I'm looking, looks like a life-size portrait of Max B.
Okay.
I'm like, that's
Okay.
that Max B right there?
Uh-huh.
The nigga was on the other side of the wall, and I'm like, oh shit, what's up, cuz? So we sat down beside each other. So this is a cool story because I'll never forget. We sat down beside each other, and he was like, what's up, man? What you do? Where you from? And I told him, yo, I'm a singer. You know, I'm from Nova Scotia. I'm up and coming. He's like, oh yeah. And he's like, yo, send me something. Let me hear something. So even so he gave me his MySpace. I sent him a couple records,
MySpace
and then he gave me the email in the MySpace. And then I sent him the email. That's actually I still saved that, Charlie Wingate. I still saved that email. It's like the last email in my account.
That's cool.
So I sent it to you, and all he replied back was, "Oh yeah, boy." So that was a dope story.
Shout out to Max B.
Yeah, Max B, free Max B.
Free
so
Max
that was
B.
like
Wave
that was
God.
but he gave me some good advice, and he was like, "Yo, before you come here, you gotta go see the Dominican ladies. They'll straighten your shit out. Then you get it braided by the African lady." So he gave me some advice. So that was a cool story.
Yo, shout out and
Yeah.
free Max B. You coming
Free
home
Max
just now?
B, yeah.
But
You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
man, it was great because I moved there, and one of my high school teammates, he was living there already, and he's like, "Yo," because me and class decided we ain't gonna work no more. He's like, "Yo, come to
Okay.
New York and chill."
Yeah.
So I came down. He's like, "Why don't you stay?" All right. So I ended up moving into Harlem with him, and then he was going to a sound academy school, something to do with like engineering, song engineering, like audio engineering.
Okay.
So he was going to school, but he had to set up in the crib. So he never went to fucking class.
He just
"I'm not
worked
going
from
class.
home, yeah.
Like I'm learning more from your voice, like doing this in our apartment.
Yeah.
So one day we get a knock on the door. It's our neighbor. Shout out to John. Comes in, big old bowl of weed. Like, yo, who's singing in here, B? Yo, what is this music I keep hearing through the what, right? So he came in. He's like, yo, hold this. Gave us the weeds. I'll be right back. He came with the blunts. He went and got the blunts. And sat down with us, and that created that friendship. And then from there, he was with us every day. He was our neighbor.
Okay.
So he was like,
Good.
yo, I'm into the music. He was trying to plug us. He's like, yo, Jordan, you got something. So he had guys like Charlie Clips used to come to the crib all the time.
Nice.
Who else used to come?
Nice.
Who else? I did a record with Herb McGruff.
Okay.
Yeah,
Harlem.
like, yeah. We was in Harlem. I was in Harlem, bro. Like it was dope. Loon came by the studio one time. You know,
Okay.
Fred, not Fred the Godson. What's the other dude? Damn, I can't even forget.
Free Loon, by the way. Yeah.
Well, anyway,
Yeah.
J.R. Ryder's little brother, he come through. Like it was a bunch of cats came through the spot, you know, and these guys, like he was the barber. My neighbor was the barber, so he knew everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He cut Cam's hair all the time. Like he was the guy, you know what I mean? So he was trying to plug me in with a ton of people, and that comes back to the Easy Mo B story. He took me down to the studio one night. Never
Okay.
forget, he was pissed at me. The studio they had like Melly Mel's there. It was like bunch of women, one session here, and it was connected. Another studio session, like you could go right over there. There's another session going on.
Yeah.
You know. And he kept saying to me like, "Yo, just jump." And they were doing a Christmas album. He's like, "Yo, just start singing." Just John. I'm like, bro, I'm not gonna just jump out. Like, you know, they asked me like, "Yo, you sing? All right, well, you want to jump in on something?" Then I wasn't just gonna start singing. Like, "Yo, put me on the record." You know what I'm saying? I was just trying to be humble and just be
wavy,
like, "Yo,
just chilling, do your thing.
just enjoying the experience." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's Biggie's first producer. That was like,
Yeah,
you know,
it's the
he-
Ready
the
to Die
classics.
album.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the classics. You know what I'm saying? So
For
I was
sure.
just like sitting back, like, "Oh, this is dope."
Taking
like
it in.
taking it in. Yeah, you know. So I remember we left there. He's like, "Yo, you fucked up. You fucked up. You supposed to let them niggas hear you." La 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 la. I was like, "Come on, bro. Like, we do it again. We'll come back." But then, like,
Yeah.
so I was in Harlem for like a year doing that. My boy Chris, shout out Chris too. He's over. I think he's over in Asia somewhere living. I ain't seen him in years.
Okay.
But yeah.
It was one of the things I was talking about in the intro, right? Back in 2008, you were into the D250. So tell us about that whole foundation and like what's going on with that.
Yeah, that was like, it was 250 years of democracy celebrated in Canada, in Nova Scotia, and that's where it started. So there was Andre Gracie, which is a good friend. She, you know, reached out to me, and you know, she's like, you know, one of those. She's always been into music. Her husband's a singer songwriter, so she liked what I was doing. She's like, hey, I want to introduce you to some people that might be some great opportunity, because, like I said, I was doing more in the community than just, you know, just working with the kids, playing ball. Like people looked up to me as a role model. Like these kids were looking, so she thought it would be a great idea. So she introduced me to the D250 people, and they were like, "Yo, let's go. We want to roll you." So they put me on a ton of shows, ton of like keynote speaking for kids and stuff like that. And that led to me being a delegate for the Governor General, Kel Jean, in around 08, 09. I went and sang for her in Quebec, and it was like she was just coming off like some trip where she was like there was a bunch of murders overseas or something. So she was really down. They told me too at the beginning, like we want you to open this up and sing. I think it was Selfish Times. I sang, and like we want you to open this up. She's really having a hard time dealing with all this death that she just come back from seeing. So she came in. They want me to sing while she was walking in. It was like a tent, but it was like a few hundred people. And she was walking in. I just remember her face just lit up when she seen me. And I was singing. Her face lit up, and she was dancing. She was really enjoying herself. So that from right after that show, her people were like, "Hey, Governor General loves you. We want to do more work with you." And even to this day, I still do some things for her, foundations and whatnot.
That's blessed.
But she took me all overseas. We went on a trip to like Central Europe. We were everywhere. Like we were on the the Challenger, I think it's called, the Canadian, like the equivalent of the Air Force One. So we were traveling around country to country on the Challenger. Nice. And it was we were just over there promoting like multiculturalism and stuff like that, and just being a democracy for so long. So some of these countries over there were like just starting to get into that. So we were over there as a model, and I'm with like there's like 11 of us as delegates. I'm the youngest, and it's like all professionals, like the doctor, the lawyer, the professor, this, that, and I'm like, what the hell am I doing here? Like, why am I here? Like, kid from the hood, they ain't like, I'm like, just play basketball. What am I gonna add to it? And the whole time I was a little worried about it, because I know I had to speak at one point. We were doing all these, shows and events and stuff, and then it hit me right when I started to talk about my story, because I told them my story, like, and it's the first time I told people that I sold drugs. Like I always, I tried to hide that, like, being from the hood, like, it's the tough times.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody else running around with money. I'm like, so I was doing my little thing, when I was a teen. And I got lucky, but it was the first time I ever openly spoke about that, like in public. So then I knew right in that moment, I was like, that's why I'm here. You know what I'm saying? To tell my story from a different perspective as, a doctor, a lawyer, or something, you know what I'm saying? So it was really dope.
And a lot of people get that misconception as well that, because you're an R&B singer, that, you don't have that rough edge or have tough times that, like R&B singers don't come from the same. They come from the same hood as the guy who's rapping.
They grew up in the same building, bro.
Exactly. And even with the whole R&B stuff, like, what are some of the differences, like, with the R&B? The R&B now. Okay, how do you feel about the R&B now?
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. I think it's still in a good place. I mean, music's changed so much.
Definitely, it's
still in a good place, and there's still people making that 90s R&B sound that I fell in love with. You know what I'm saying? But I still to this day, I'm like, I'm a huge fan of Division. Like, I love what's going on, especially like even in Toronto. I like what's going on. I know Auto-Tune came in and kind of made things a little different. You know what I'm saying? But I think R&B's still in a good place. People seem to think that it's like not really as popping, but it's like with hip hop and R&B that go hand in hand too at the same time.
Very true.
You know what I'm saying? So I still think it's in a good place. There's a lot of great R&B out there.
What do you think are some of the bigger obstacles in the R&B scene?
Obstacles? I mean,
because it's a rap-dominated game.
Yeah, I guess the radio thing is like, like for me, like I said before, like ballads are my thing. I love slower records. Radio's not gonna play no ballads.
They ain't got
and I know the game's changed with the streaming and digital, but the radios are not gonna, like, they're always like, yo, you can't put out a ballad unless you're Beyonce or whatever. Like that's one of the biggest obstacles. Like, yo, I wanted, like I was saying, HD, I wanted to come out with that as my first single from that project. Okay. And everyone's like, nah, it's too slow. Maybe third. And then when the third come around, oh no, maybe fourth. Nah, well, let's just not put that as a single. You know what I'm saying? So that was, they want they want to move. So that was, I'd say that was a big one.
Okay. Wow, we got the history, the middle, and what I want to know is what's coming up.
Okay, coming up. You know what? I was just, like I said, I've been sitting on like 60, 70 joints that I've done in the last couple of years.
Nice.
So I'm just in the process of getting some of them, updated, musically. But for me, I'm just gonna plan. I'm just gonna drop a record at a time, man, song at a time. I'm not, there's no project in mind right now. I do have an EP that's together, but I go back and forth. Do I want to put the EP out, or do I want to just drop a song at a time? So that's where I'm at right now. Today, that's how I'm feeling. That could change tomorrow. I could wake up because we should do the project. She knows me. I'll be indecisive sometimes, but But that for me is just a song at a time, you know,
Okay.
and it's just whatever I feel I want to put out at the time. And I didn't have that before, so now that's why I want to do that. Like now I can make okay, this is the next song, and it might change tomorrow. I'll be like, cuz this is right now. No, okay, let's go back to this. Okay, no, let's do that. The way you love me, no, okay. So, but for me, I never had that option before.
Okay.
It was just like, here's what we think your 5 singles. What do you think first?
Yeah.
And for me, it was You Can Have It All back then.
Yeah.
You know, that was our feeler, our tester. And yeah, so I'm excited this time around to just put out music how I want and when I want.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I want to keep you for our Smoke and Mirror segment.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep.
We're gonna do a quick little break.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. And we're gonna get into something what we call Smoke and Mirrors.
Smoke and Mirrors.
This is where we discuss all the hip hop tea. As they say.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yes.
So we're gonna take a quick break, and we're gonna come back. We're gonna get into our Smoke and Mirrors segment. It's the world's most smoked out podcast. We love hip hop.
Yeah. Episode
Yeah.
61, season 2. Something like that.
Something like that. We around there.
You guys are working over here. We love hip hop.